County Committee of the whole meeting for Tuesday, October 22nd is now called to order. Andrew, would you please call the roll?
Good afternoon, everyone. It is now 3:03 p.m. As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Present.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Mr. Byrne.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schron.
Here.
Ms. Conwell. Ms. Turner. Ms. Turner is absent at the moment. Ms. Stevens is absent at the moment. Ms. Simon. Here. Council President Jones.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Andrea. Has anyone signed in for public comment?
No public comment has been received.
All right. At this time, items referred to committee, confirmation hearing. And I will begin with a statement. Welcome to the confirmation hearing at which council will consider the appointment of Melanie Kentner Knowles as Director of Sustainability. For a little background, the Department of Regional Collaboration was established by ordinance in early 2011 to promote cooperation and collaboration with the state and other local government entities. The department was previously headed by former directors Ed Jurst, Jennifer Schofield, and Mike Foley. The Department of Sustainability was established by ordinance and works to promote environmentally sustainable business practices within county operations, and also coordinates with outside partners to promote sustainable practices county-wide. The hearing process will proceed as follows. The nominee will be offered an opportunity to address their qualifications, motivations for seeking the position, and outlooks and plans regarding the office. Council members will then be offered the opportunity to ask questions of the nominee. We will do so in rounds, allowing each council member to ask 2 questions per round until all council questions have been answered. Once all questions have been answered, we will entertain a motion to recommend that council approve or reject the nomination at the next regular meeting. If we are not ready to act on that motion today, we will defer making the recommendation. Assuming a motion to recommend approval or rejection has been made, council will vote on that recommendation at its next regular meeting. Thank you, and let's begin. At this time, Madam Clerk, if you would read the resolution into the record.
Resolution 2024-0349, confirming the county executive's appointment of Melanie Kentner Knowles upon her taking the oath of office as Director of Sustainability.
Ready for
Ms.
my
Knowles,
opening?
the floor is yours, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Melanie Kentner Knowles, and I am honored to be nominated by County Executive Chris Ronayne for the position of Sustainability Director, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about my qualifications as you consider my confirmation. As you can see from my resume, I've dedicated more than 20 years of my career to sustainability. I draw upon my education and experience to develop strategies that benefit communities and are financially responsible. The process is both data-driven and collaborative, benefiting from many perspectives, lived experiences, and expertise. I earned my bachelor's degree in anthropology and economics because of my fascination with people and the economic systems that we create. After graduation, I spent 4 years in the stock brokerage industry, then chose to continue my education, earning a Master of Environmental Science degree. I had long had an interest in environmental issues, but became driven by the concept of sustainable development and that economy and the environment do not have to be at odds. My 2 areas of concentration were ecological anthropology, which explores the relationship between people and the environment, and policymaking and administration to effectively implement positive changes. Following graduate school, I worked in the City of Cleveland's Department of Economic Development. In the process of developing programs to address railroad noise mitigation, I met with railroad representatives, consultants, and engineers, members of City Council and their constituents to identify noise mitigation strategies that best fit their homes and neighborhoods within a set budget. In 2001, I took a position at the nonprofit Cleveland Green Building Coalition. While there, I became a LEED accredited professional. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design and is a green building rating system from the U.S. Green Building Council. I learned about green building strategies and also connected with various disciplines involved in design and construction, as well as property owners and managers and nonprofits in the community. Through engagement and education, we provided resources and tools to build better buildings that are healthier and more efficient. During this time, I also completed a certificate in nonprofit management at Case Western Reserve University to more efficiently and effectively manage a mission-driven organization. Now, for the last 15 years, I have served as sustainability manager at Kent State University. As I have led the Office of Sustainability, I have had the pleasure of collaborating with departments across the university and students and faculty and with community partners. Together, we have addressed areas including energy, food, green building, natural areas, transportation, water, and zero waste. Initiatives have been data-driven, collaborative, and designed to uniquely fit Kent State, support their mission and vision, and always be good stewards of state funding and tuition dollars. Some things I'm most proud of are the adoption of the grind-to-energy system to divert inedible food waste away from the landfill. Since the first system was adopted in 2021, over 400 tons of food waste has been captured and used by Quasar Energy Group to make electricity, compressed natural gas fuel, and fertilizer to return nutrients to Ohio farm fields. The adoption of LEED certification for new construction and major renovation projects has resulted in 15 LEED certified campus buildings so far, including the LEED Platinum certified John Elliott Center for Architecture and Environmental Design. I am also proud of the collaboration between Kent State University and the City of Kent. Around sustainability, this included intentional engagement of one another in creating the City of Kent's Climate Action Plan and Kent State University's Sustainability Plan, which were under development around the same time. And I am proud of the multifaceted engagement with students and university community. Strategies include student programs, social media, events, guest lectures, and competitions, among many others. Some of the recognition Kent State has received in sustainability include the Ohio EPA's Encouraging Environmental Excellence Platinum Level Award, inclusion on the Princeton Review Green Schools list, Tree Campus Higher Education, Bicycle Friendly University, and in the Campus Race to Zero Waste, a competition among colleges and universities in the US and Canada, Kent State has won 4 different categories since 2021, including in electronics recycling, zero waste, and food waste diversion. In 2023, I also began teaching the course, The Business Case for Sustainability, where students learn why sustainability is a competitive advantage and how to integrate it throughout an organization. The course is required for management majors in the Ambassador Crawford College of Business and Entrepreneurship. I've also continued my own professional development through continuing education, professional conferences, and more formal programs such as Kent State's Institute for Excellence and Leadership Portage County. On a personal note, I have lived in Cuyahoga County most of my life, except when I was away at college. I was born in Cleveland, raised in Bay Village, and currently live in Cleveland Heights. I have one son who started high school this year, a dog and a cat. And while working at Kent State, I have remained engaged in the community here, including serving on boards and committees for Environmental Health Watch, Ruffing Montessori School, and the Nature Center at Shaker Lakes. Sustainability is what I am passionate about and the work that is meaningful to me. Cuyahoga County is my home. This is where I want to be and where I want to contribute my knowledge and skills and always continue to grow and learn about the communities and environment of this special place. Thank you for considering me to serve as Sustainability Director for Cuyahoga County. I look forward to your questions.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Knowles. And I think what I'll do is I'd like to lead off with maybe the first 2 questions. We have some prepared questions. I'm going to actually read 1 and 2 and check them off the list here. So the first question is, what interested you in leading Cuyahoga County's Department of Sustainability?
Right. As I mentioned, sustainability is the work that I'm passionate about, and Cuyahoga County is my home, so it's very meaningful to me to be here. I'm excited to contribute, and also with the amazing network of people that we have in Cuyahoga County. I'm particularly interested in being able to enact policy, establish policy that will embed sustainability for the long term.
Great. What do you see as the top 3 sustainability initiatives the county must support both internally and externally?
First, I want to acknowledge the sustainability strategy that was recently adopted by council. I think that is both ambitious and achievable and will be a large driver of how the work that we do moving forward. But if confirmed, 3 focus areas that I would like to work on. One is increasing engagement with county employees. The second is, as I've touched on already, also adoption of policy to ensure that even sustainability practices that are currently happening, that they continue for the long term. And then third, I would like to help foster regional collaboration, whether it is municipalities in Cuyahoga County that don't have their own sustainability staff that we can help support, as well as collaborating with other partners and other counties in Northeast Ohio.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our chair of our Sustainability Committee.
Thank you,
Councilwoman
Council
Simon.
President. Congratulations on your nomination. I'm happy to see you again and ask just a couple questions for the benefit really of my colleagues, because I've had a chance to really learn about your background and how impressive it is. I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So Cuyahoga County sustainability efforts include a variety of programs intended to improve the region's environment. Do you see any major areas of opportunity where the county has not previously invested attention or resources?
Through the chair to the councilperson, since I have not actually started this position, I am not thoroughly knowledgeable about everything that we have done or the county has done and things that may have tried. So I can't say that I currently see a specific area that is a glaring omission. But if confirmed, I do look forward to delving into that more deeply and doing some analysis and finding other areas of opportunity and happy to discuss any of those with you.
Do you see any areas where we could reduce emissions and work toward a climate plan? Do you see areas now that the county can get involved in?
I do know, especially through my conversations with with Janita McGowan, the Deputy Chief of Climate and Sustainability, that updating the Climate Action Plan is one of the things that is coming up on our agenda since the adoption of the sustainability strategy. So there will undoubtedly be strategies identified in that plan. And I know, again, from those conversations that a large opportunity is looking at the county's own facilities and opportunities to improve the maybe renewable energy and the operations of the county's own buildings.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. President. That was very good opening remarks. I appreciate those.
Thank you.
The county has invested a significant amount of funds into the microgrid. What is your level of familiarity with this project?
Through the chair to the councilman, I am only generally familiar with the project from, say, what I've seen in the paper, so I'm not intimately knowledgeable about the details of it. What I can add is that I'm generally familiar with microgrids because we have a microgrid at Kent State's Kent campus, where we have a 13 megawatt combined heat and power plant and are currently adding 7.2 megawatts of solar to that grid. So I would bring whatever knowledge that I have to this position and look forward to learning more about the details of that.
All right, thank you. That's all.
Councilman Miller.
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Knowles, congratulations again on your appointment for this very important position for the county.
Thank you.
And my question is, to what extent do you expect to use the county's climate action plan either as it exists now or as it will be revised and upgraded as a guide in planning your sustainability efforts?
Through the chair to the councilperson, as I said, it is my understanding that there will be a revised climate action plan that we will be working on. And yes, that, as well as the sustainability strategy that was recently adopted, will be very large drivers of the work that happens in the Department of Sustainability.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman,
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Knowles, nice seeing you again.
Thank you. You too.
We did the railroads back in 1999 together, and it was pretty cool that you took care of the constituents that were impacted the most. So
Thank you.
thanks for bringing that up and bring me down memory lane. Two questions. One is, with the microgrid, just how much you're going to work with Mike Foley, the previous one? Because when we're doing the microgrid, we needed to hire somebody to run the microgrid. After a thorough review, it turned out to be Mike, and that was a big deal for us. And you getting up to speed on that soon, because when I saw Mike in the hallways, it was like, yeah, we got this one, we got this one. We answered it, but just the working relationship you can have with that point person, tell me a little bit about that.
Through the chair to the councilman, I definitely do not want to step on Mike Foley's toes right here. I would like to come up to speed on it and will be collaborative, but I understand that the microgrid is being managed and directed separately from this. So it will be collaborative, absolutely. I don't want to mislead and think that I am taking a directing kind of role in that.
And through
Is
the
that-
chair to the director nominee, Mike's my friend. But if his toes need to be stepped on, you're the boss in my eyes, because he was the boss when we had the when he was the director, he was driving this. And we're going to have to hire somebody to help us get to the place we need to be to have microgrids throughout the county and hopefully within the city of Cleveland to have one that actually is substantial. So that's just my take on that one. That gives me to my next question is,
Wait, Mr. Chair, I just want to correct you. Mike, she's not Mike Foley's boss. Mike Foley, she's not his boss. Or if she gets confirmed, will not be Mike Foley's boss. Mike Foley, former director, is now under Public Works, so it's a separate department, just for clarification for my colleagues as well. She's
Well,
not
thank
his
you.
boss.
So I wasn't insinuating boss, but what I heard with Director Foley was saying, we need to find somebody to help us manage the microgrid. So I was
Yeah,
wrong.
like he wants to hire somebody, not using the director of sustainability to manage the grid. Okay.
Stand corrected. And on that point of either driving from your spot or managing from your spot. And sustainability over the time I've been here, we talked about it, but a lot of stuff has materialized. And what do you think your job will be in regards to either managing or driving what we need to be driven?
Through the chair to the councilman, I think this is an example where the sustainability strategy that was recently adopted is a very good framework for what the work will be going forward.
That's a good enough answer.
Is it? Okay.
But my whole thought is I want you to be emboldened to help drive the sustainability. And through the chair to my chairwoman, you have a passionate advocate council led by her to be able to reach what we want to reach. And the administration, they get pulled in many different directions. I want the respect for the sustainability to be as high as it needs to be able to have an impact and have some advancement. Change is the wrong word, some advancements in reaching the goals that are part of that, not study, but plan.
Okay.
So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Councilman Schron?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just picking up on Mr. Sweeney's question, what specific metrics will you be using to measure the internal and external sustainability initiatives? I'm a numbers person, so what numbers will you be looking to?
Great, thank you. From, through the chair to the councilman. One of the things that is helpful is that the sustainability plan I have been referring to includes a lot of key performance indicators. And so those will be things that we refer to frequently to gauge our progress on advancing those things. Some of the things that I have mentioned, like internal engagement at the county, there are different measures that we can use there for the touch points for the employees at the county, how often we have reached out to them, how much engagement they have engaged in. Even a survey to find out their feelings about whether their voice is being valued in regard to sustainability, and education to let them know how important their roles are. But there are also a lot of indicators that are generally accepted in the sustainability community, things like greenhouse gas inventory, canopy cover of the trees in Cuyahoga County. So we will rely on those standard sustainability indicators that let us compare ourselves, not only our own progress, but to other areas and how well we're achieving those things.
Well, I understand canopy cover because that's should be defined by the ground to which we're on, and so you should be able to identify that. But greenhouse gases, it seems to me, are going to be very tough because to define it as Northeastern Ohio from that standpoint. Can you give me an example how you could be measuring that in Northeastern Ohio that would not be impacted by Toledo, Chicago, Philadelphia?
So there are different scopes of greenhouse gases, with scope 1 being emissions that are direct from combustion here. Then there are emissions from purchased electricity and purchased power. Those are more straightforward, whether we're looking at the county's operations or the people living and the businesses that are working in Cuyahoga County. Where it gets a lot trickier is the scope 3, which is anything else you do that affects emissions. So we would have to look closely at what can we measure accurately, who else is measuring that, because there's a risk of double counting those things. But there is a lot of collaboration among cities and municipalities in how those are measured, so we can try to keep it as standard as possible and so that the comparison is meaningful.
And this is obviously going to be our biggest single expenditure, I believe, in probably our county's history going on. The county is moving forward into its largest capital investment project in probably our lifetimes. In the role of what you're evaluating as far as the new jail, how are you going to participate in that, and what do you see the role of this position? This body up here I think we've all been advised by the county executive as far as the first draft of the physical plant, and I would think the physical plant is probably going to be a critical part of what takes place from an environmental standpoint, how it looks, what it does, how we heat it, how we cool it, all those things. What role, if any, do you see yourself in the design development of that footprint?
Through the chairman to the councilman, the first thing I would do if I am confirmed is to build relationships with the people who are involved in that project so that I can have a seat at the table and be part of those discussions. Because the important thing is to raise those issues as early as possible in the project to make sure that we have a common understanding of what we want to do and what those goals are. So something like the LEED certification, which I believe is being used to evaluate this project, that is a very helpful tool in identifying the areas where the building can be more sustainable, more efficient, even the grounds, the location where it is placed. Within that, there is flexibility within the LEED rating system. So we could also look at what are the priorities, are they being addressed through LEED, and can we require additional or specific credits in that rating system? And so that is where I would anticipate being involved.
Have you been told that we are trying to get a actual LEED certification for this building, or we're going to try to follow those principles, two different standards?
That is a good distinction to make, and I don't want to say, I only heard mention of it, and without specific knowledge, I don't want to assert that it's one or the other.
Okay, thank you.
Councilwoman?
Through the chair to Melanie, will you, is it your plan to leave Kent State University if you get confirmed?
Through the chair to the councilperson, I will leave my day job as sustainability manager at Kent State University, but I do intend to keep teaching my business case for sustainability class one night a week.
And for grant writing purposes for this department, what is your skill set for writing grants?
I have written numerous grants through my nonprofit experience as well as at Kent State University, through the Ohio EPA, through local foundations, Cleveland and Gunn Foundation here, and other opportunities as they have arisen. So I do have some experience writing grants, being awarded them, and completing them.
Okay. Can you provide an overview of the 3 sustainability initiatives you implemented at Kent State University, and were they successful, and how did you measure their success?
Yes. One of the sustainability initiatives that I really like to talk about, and I touched on this in my remarks, is the Grind to Energy system, where we've diverted 400 tons of food waste away from the landfill. We can measure the success of that by what was diverted away from the landfill, as well as reduced truck traffic that is on campus, reduced odors in the compactors, and the way that material was diverted and became positive, having a positive impact on the environment. As well, our bike and scooter share that we have on campus that has a lot of use, with over 130,000 rides and over 2,000 unique users per month, filling a gap that was needed in their transportation system. And then recycling standardization, which has resulted in a 50% increase in the recycling rate since we started that program.
Councilman Byrne?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Knowles, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. Just to follow up with Councilwoman Conwell's question, is there an initiative or a program, something that's a little special to you or to your heart that you'd like to implement here in the county? That
Through the chair to the councilman, it's a fairly challenging question to ask because a lot of this is very important to me.
Is there something that you'd really like to concentrate on, given the opportunity?
You know, I will take an example that I think was brought up here, which is tree canopy. At Kent State University, we are a tree campus higher education, and we have a tree advisory board. And there are a lot of partners on campus and in the community who work with us on that and making sure that our trees are healthy and that we expand that tree canopy. I know that there has been work done on this in Cuyahoga County and within municipalities within the county. So that is an area that I very much look forward to working with partners to enhance.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Any further questions? All right. Councilwoman, go right ahead.
Through the chair to Melanie, how did you hear about this position?
Through the chair to the council person, I actually heard about this position through my network of sustainability professionals having dinner one night.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, President,
Yes.
just one more. There is an opportunity with the ARPA dollars that were invested through the Inflation Reduction Act that the county can apply for. Do you think you will be involved with exploring opportunity in that realm?
Through the chair to the council person, I would absolutely think that I would explore that, that there are some opportunities there, but until I know more, I can't really speak to it specifically. Happy to circle back on that with you, though.
Yeah, I think that's a big priority with those dollars sitting out there for us to really capitalize on that. So I would ask that to be something you take a look at with the chief, Ms. McGowan. Okay.
Great,
Thank you.
Yes.
Further questions? If not, then I will entertain a motion to recommend the resolution to the full council for second reading adoption under suspension of rules.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? If not, ayes have it.
Please add my name.
Me too,
Yes,
if I'm not
please.
on there already.
Madam Clerk,
Mr.
if you caught
President,
those.
my name as well.
Councilman Miller's as well.
Duly noted.
Thank you.
Just on a question of protocol,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, what should be sworn in?
At the council meeting,
Tonight?
the administration, I believe, has made a request that it not take place. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, so no, the answer is no. it will
Sometime in the
not.
future.
Yes, they will have a plan for that, yes.
Thank you.
The chair, did you say second reading?
This is second reading suspension, under second reading suspension. All right. At this time, we'll prepare ourselves for executive session. All meetings of the Cuyahoga County Council are open to the public under the Ohio Open Meetings laws. Under that law, council may go into executive session during a meeting for specifically authorized purposes. During executive session, council confers outside of the hearing of the public. Council may not make any decisions about any matters in executive session. All decisions are made in public. This afternoon, the council will go into executive session for the purpose of discussing pending or imminent court action. During this time, our live stream will be down, and we ask all those not specifically needed for the executive session to remain in council chambers. Council members will convene in the adjacent Committee Room A and will re-enter the meeting once the executive session has ended. Is there a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing pending or imminent court action?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll on the motion to go into executive session?
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher? Mr. Schron? Ms. Conwell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner? Ms. Turner is absent at the moment. Ms. Stevens? Ms. Stevens is absent at the moment. Ms. Simon?
Yes.
Council President Jones?
Yes.
The motion carries.
All right, the ayes have it. We will adjourn the meeting for an executive session. We are reconvening and we are back on the record.
Council President,
Yes.
Council members Turner and Stevens are in attendance.
All right, thank you. Is there any miscellaneous business? If not, our meeting is adjourned and we will reconvene promptly at 5 p.m.